Shalom. This is an emergency broadcast alert giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Kakadash, in whom we are in great debt. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well, continue doing so, standing firm in the eyes of terror, who I learned this truth from. To the elders, the apostles, to the elders, the bishop, Akim and Akwab, salutations and blessings to the house of David. We are the hopeful elect. This is your brother Quasiar with another quick one. And this goes up in there to those tares that were sown all the way down to famine of the word, and the tricks of the devil. We're not deceived. For again, I don't know how much I can play, but I'm going to play a bit. Alright, currently a man was actually imprisoned for a meme that he said about Trump. So I'm going to read Amos 8:11. Amos 8 verse 11. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord thy power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord. Why? Because you neglected the Lord. Yahweh Shai has sent his apostles. Their sacrifices themselves in the highways and byways, and you scoff, you hating them. So the Lord has to protect his men from the evils that are coming, and this is one of the ways that he is going to do so. Although Esau, Edom, so-called white man, will find ways to attack the men of the Lord, there's other ways, but this is one of the ways where he is going to prevent the men from speaking. He's going to try to close the mouth of the apostles. Right? Because in reality, it's the Lord who is going to remove. Eventually, the Lord will remove his men from the streets, so you won't hear him no more. So I'm going to play a little bit of this guy. Okay.
He's been here for 35 days.
35 days. Over a meme.
So here's the meme in question. More will be explained about it in a bit. There are a lot of exceptions to free speech. The most relevant one here is what is called a true threat. The Supreme Court has said that true threats are not protected by the First Amendment because there's a need to protect people from fear of violence, and to prevent the disruption that the fear causes, and to protect from the possibility that the threats will actually happen. A true threat is essentially a statement that frightens someone into believing that they will be seriously harmed.
You see what he says? You have to read between the words. You really need to hear it carefully.
Here for 35 days.
35 days. Over a meme.
So here's the meme in question. More will be explained about it in a bit. There are a lot of exceptions to free speech. The most relevant one here is what is called a true threat. The Supreme Court has said that true threats are not protected by the First Amendment because there's a need to protect people from fear of violence, and to prevent the disruption that the fear causes, and to protect from the possibility that the threats will actually happen.
This is Luke 21 verse 12. But there shall all the but before all these they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. We preach the gospel, right? 100%, no lie, right? We don't make things up. Esau, Edom, so-called white man doesn't like that. All right, the apostles before us were locked up for sedition. All right, they were murdered. Verse 13. Oh, and you know how they don't like to hear the name of Yahweh Shin Yahushai. You've seen those videos when they talk about ripping. Well, they say is hate, or what's the word? Semantic. What is it? What is it? I can't even think of the word right now. Oh, anti-Semitism. Just because somebody put the name of Yahushua is coming back on a cardboard piece of paper, or it's a cardboard with tape on a post. Just that alone created an uproar. Okay. Verse 13, and it shall turn to you for a testimony. And guess what? Yeah, you know what's happening, because the Lord put these words and understanding. You know what's happening. You know you're testifying. You know what's going on. Verse 14, settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. And of course, we're not going to be answering our own words. This is why you study to make thyself approved. That way you don't babble, and you don't be speaking in your own words. That's why a lot of the brothers say, let the scripture speak. This way you do just that. And what it says in verse 13, and it shall come, and it shall turn to you for a testimony. Settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what ye shall answer. Verse 15, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. And this is why Esau Edom is gonna he ain't gonna be able to stand still. He ain't gonna be able to, it's gonna bother him to hear you speak. So he's gonna want to shut you up. He's gonna want to make you disappear. And this is why Apostle Gabar says, y'all better know what y'all getting into. Because this is not, this shouldn't be taken lightly. The gospel following Yahushua, this ain't no easy walk. Verse 16, and ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. And guess what? People are going to be saying, and your family members who sees these videos you put up, and these devils, Esau Edom, so-called white man, are locking people up for making memes. Just imagine, the followers of Yahweh about Yahushua. Verse 17, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but there shall not an hair of your head perish. In your patience possess ye your soul. Regardless, the Lord is promised, a crown, right? So he's gonna bring you back, regardless. So I'll play it one more time, and I'll place the link in the description box, the full video, so you can see, what they doing. They're not telling you this. They're not. People are not talking about this. This is why they wanted to get rid of YouTube before, but they still covering it up. They still trying to figure out ways to cover these things up. But the Lord has a way to show it to his men. You know, one way or another, the truth gonna come out.
An update.
He's been here for 35 days.
35 days. Over a meme.
So here's the meme in question. More will be explained about it in a bit. There are a lot of exceptions to free speech. The most relevant one here is what is called a true threat. The Supreme Court has said that true threats are not protected by the First Amendment because there's a need to protect people from fear of violence and to prevent the disruption that the fear causes and to protect from the possibility that the threats will actually happen. A true threat is essentially a statement that frightens someone into believing that they will be seriously harmed. Speech will not be protected if the person consciously disregarded a substantial risk that their communications would be viewed as threatening violence. However, political hyperbole does not count as a true threat. Take the case of Watts versus U.S., where a man said, quote, "I have already received my draft classification. I am not going. If they ever make me carry a rifle, the first man I want to get in my sights is LBJ." The Supreme Court ruled that this was political hyperbole and was not a true threat, and thus was protected speech. The court will look to factors like the context of the speech, the conditional nature of the supposed threat, and the reaction of the recipients or listeners. Are the people laughing? Are they taking it seriously? Etc. To me, the Watts case seems more like a true threat than the Facebook meme here. And the speech...
Wait, how do you think the people are going to take... You know how the people react now when... I know when we're on the highways and byways, I can see their faces. They're stuck. They're speechless. They're numb. They can't believe what they hear. You know, they know it's true. They know it's true, but they don't want to engage. They wanted to keep away. They know something bad is coming. Anyways, that's all I got for now. Shalom.